The wind sweeps across the water and the sky is grey as we sail through the Fletcherfjord. We are here in the Norwegian province of Vestland, on the west coast of Norway. Today we are heading towards Bergen, where we will spend the whole day. It's cold and there are only a few passengers on deck. The wind is so strong that it's difficult to keep the camera steady. The Fletcherfjord, which is about 20 km long, lies north of Bergen and stretches between the Norwegian mainland and the island of Fletcher. The fjord is part of the open, highly rugged Norwegian coastal landscape. It's not a deep, narrow fjord like many others in Norway, but rather a wide arm of the sea with important shipping routes. Due to its location, it plays a significant role in regional shipping and the maritime infrastructure of the region. The area around the Fletcherfjord is characterized by rugged nature, small fishing villages and a long maritime tradition. Furthermore, the area is secured by lighthouses and navigational aids, as the waters can be challenging due to shallows and changing weather conditions. On our way to Bergen, we drive under the Horgeland Bridge. The Horgeland Bridge is a road bridge over the Fletcherfjord. It connects local transport routes and facilitates access to the surrounding coastal and island areas. The Horgeland Bridge stretches over the Fletcherfjord like a delicate arch. Like many buildings in this region, it is exposed to the demanding weather conditions of the Norwegian west coast. Finally, the city silhouette becomes visible through the haze as the ship continues to glide through the fjord. The air is fresh and smells of salt and the promise of new experiences, even though the sky draws grey curtains of wind and clouds. As the ship docks, the anticipation of the day fills the onboard restaurant like freshly brewed coffee. Ahead of us lies a day full of discoveries, colorful streets, fjord views and warm encounters with mountains, sea and people. Bergen is surrounded by 7 mountains. One of them is Mount Ulriken, which we visited 3 years ago in bright sunshine. Today we want to discover the highest of the 7 mountains, Mount Ulriken, since it is said whoever has not been to Ulriken has not been to Bergen. We can take a cable car up the mountain, the Ulriksbanen. It's about 4 kilometers from the ship to the valley station of the cable car. We'll walk there, it's about an hour walk. Here we are at the valley station of Mount Ulriken. From here we take the cable car up. By the way, for those who prefer not to walk to the valley station, not far from the tourist information office in the city center, buses run to the valley station, the Ulriksekspressen, but according to current information only in the summer from beginning of April or May until the end of September. Mount Mount Ulriken is 643 meters above sea level. You can go by cable car as we do, but you can also hike up the mountain. The ride up the mountain only takes a few minutes. Upon reaching the top, Mount Ulriken is shrouded in clouds. But then the sky clears, and what a fantastic panorama unfolds. The view is breathtaking, and the trip has already been worth it. Mount Ulriken is impressive, even in bad weather. Today, fog or rain restricts visibility due to the humid air. The temperature is cool and the wind is blowing strongly, but the view is truly mystical, with thick layers of clouds drifting across the fjord area. There are several hiking trails at the summit. We had actually planned a hike, but the wind is so strong. We were almost blown away. You can hike from Mount Ulriken to Mount Florian, which would be a great tour, just not today. It's so cold and windy that we'd rather turn back. Finally, we find a more sheltered spot that offers a wonderful view. The view covers a large part of Bergen, the fjord landscape and the surrounding mountains. You can't see the wind on the video, but believe me, we were almost blown away. This is the other side of Bergen, facing north. Here you can also see the beginning of the Sherpa staircase, which leads from the valley station up to Mount Ulriken. Here again is the Sherpa staircase, which is apparently very popular, even in bad weather. There are people walking up the mountain in shorts, while the wind almost knocks us over. I guess we're real softies compared to the Norwegians. Finally, we take the cable car back down, while the cabin sways wildly in the wind.
I see a lot of people going down, coming down. Ja. Da kan de Doch.
Listen to the wind. We were on the mountain for about an hour and we think it was really worth it despite the bad weather. How wonderful it must be when it's warmer and the sun is shining and you can go hiking in the mountains. We absolutely must come back again. This attraction is definitely worth a visit if you want to see the whole city of Bergen with views of the fjords and mountains. I hope we can manage to climb up Mount Ulriken again sometime in good weather. Back down at the Ulriksbanen Valley station, we decide to take the bus, the Ulriken Express, to the old center of Bergen. We don't have tickets, but the driver will take us anyway, and we can pay upon arrival. We are frozen to the bone from the wind and glad to be sitting in the warm bus. bus ride back to the city was pleasant and only took about 12 minutes. We can highly recommend the bus. And now we're in Bergen's old city center. From here you can explore the old Bryggen. We'll start by going to the fish market. You can eat fresh fish here. However, it's very crowded today. Right behind the fish market by the harbor is the Old Bryggen. Old Bryggen is one of Norway's most famous landmarks and is a reminder of its medieval trading history. The colorful narrow wooden houses with their pointed gables still characterize the harbor scene of Bergen today. Bergen originated in the 12th century and developed into an important trading center of the Hanseatic League. German merchants, especially from northern Germany, used Bergen as a base for trading stockfish, grain and other goods. For several centuries, Bergen was a central trading hub between Norway and the European continent. Large parts of Old Bryggen have been destroyed by fires multiple times. Nevertheless, the structure of the district has been preserved to this day. The current buildings mostly date from the 18th century, but were built according to medieval models. Bergen has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1979. It is considered one of the most important preserved Hanseatic waters in Europe and is a symbol of Bergen's international past. A walk through the narrow streets gives an impression of the lives of merchants in the Middle Ages. We immerse ourselves in the narrow alleys between the tightly packed wooden houses, with their sloping floors, creaking stairs, and intricately carved details. The old wooden houses lean close together as if they had been whispering stories to each other for centuries, of ships setting sail, salty sea air, and quiet longings. The floorboards creak under every step in the narrow alleyways. The air is filled with the scent of wood, rain, and the sea. It is as if every corner holds a secret. Love letters that never arrived, farewells at the quay, hopeful reunions at dawn. Bergen is an amazing district and is very busy today. And yet suddenly there is a narrow passageway that is almost deserted. It feels like stepping into the movie The Witches with Angelica Houston. Bryggen is more than just a historical place, it's a feeling. A place where past and present touch, where you stroll hand in hand through narrow passages and feel that some places have the ability to enchant us. Today, the old buildings house small shops, galleries, cafes, and museums. And of course, you can buy trolls here. Bergen has much more to offer, but we need to slowly make our way back to the ship. The way from the center back to the ship is not far. This is the main shopping street or shopping area in Bergen called Torgallmenningen. The monument in Torgallmenningen is a maritime memorial. It honors Norwegian seafarers and their significance to Norwegian history and trade. It consists of a large stone block with reliefs depicting the history of Norwegian seafaring. The 12 bronze figures on the base represent the different eras of seafaring. We spent a wonderful day in Bergen and can only say once again, we'll definitely be back, if only to hike up Mount Ulriken. As we leave Bergen, a vibrant rainbow arches over the city like a final farewell. There is Mount Ulriken, where we have been today. Our ship slowly departs from the quay. As we sail out onto the Fjord, we are accompanied by ferries and seagulls. A stiff breeze is blowing, the air smells of salt and also a little bit of farewell. The contours of the city slowly blur. As we say goodbye to Bergen, we feel a sense of anticipation for new adventures. Once again, we drive under the Ulriken Bridge, while the wind sweeps through the fjord and tugs at the camera. As our ship passes the last protective islands, a grey blanket once again settles over the fjord. A few isolated houses dot the last rugged islands. How wonderful it must be to wake up here in the morning and watch the ships on the water with a coffee in hand. The exit from the Fjord leads past small villages, while the water continues to expand and the sky becomes ever larger. Then the fjord ends and the journey continues out to the open sea. The exit from the Fetjefjord is more than just a navigation maneuver. It is both a farewell and a new beginning. And as the bow points west, it becomes clear the journey continues right here where the fjord ends and the heart expands. Every goodbye is the beginning of new adventures. We are looking forward to Molde, where we'll be taking a trip to Trollstigen, but more about that in our next video. Until then, and thank you so much for watching.